All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Assassination Classroom, Season 2, Episode 5. Last episode was, well, jam-packed full of comedy and nicknames.
Yes. Yeah. We had nicknames that were glorious. They were wondrous.
Absolutely fantastic.
There's no way we could have been prepared for the wondrous nature that was hearing all the names.
Ah, yes.
Of class,
Fun police.
Yeah.
You do your thing.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. Dennis the Menace. Oh, yeah.
We very much want the fun police to arrest Bitch Sensei because she's been too naughty.
I'm still convinced. You cannot convince me otherwise that Bitch Sensei did not give him that name. It's canon.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Canon. Yeah.
But given that we had a little bit of focus with Asano Gakushu, we have to focus a bit more on the school pressuring Class 3E to conform and fall in line as the underlings of the rest of the superior members of the school.
Yep.
But they failed last time. So
that
what
is true.
new measures will they take this time? So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. All right. Wow, that was a very unique little episodic little bit.
We got some escalation this episode.
Yeah, Isogai is a character that we hadn't really gotten much, if at all, focus on in the previous bits.
Yep.
I think he had a bit that was maybe very minor in Season 1, if at all. And then in Season 2, in the premiere, we did see
him catching the goldfish.
Goldfish stuff at the festival, which was kind of a cool little thing of like, hey, this is this character. And I'm like, oh, wait, what? Why is he so excited about getting all those goldfish?
Right. And
sure.
It makes a lot of sense because I believe he was commenting on how you can do this really efficiently and then you're getting a lot for the money.
Yes.
Which I always figured was just something of beating the system, getting the most out of the game. But no, it's actually this is a way that I can basically
save on lunch money.
Save on lunch money by just getting 40 goldfish or whatever it was for like 100 yen and then just cook them in tiny little fillets. Which is just hilarious, and I love it.
That's awesome. And this guy being the one that also got to have the spotlight for the entire episode.
That doesn't happen much anymore.
Yeah, that's a thing that we haven't really experienced since the days of, Baseball Brain or...
or Karma or...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to try and see where I can remember to use the nicknames just in general.
What was Karma Krasanova?
I can't believe it's not Takaoka, like that.
Right, exactly.
Now, Krasanova is blonde boy that...
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
It's funny because I actually remember some of the nicknames better than I actually remember the...
no, I know. I feel like...
the actual names.
So President Poverty...
Like Kunogigaoka's mom having the... with the bread is something you drink. And I was like, oh my God, girl, that was amazing. Like, how did you do that? And she just walked across the finish line. The other was like, what?
And it almost looked like she got thinner after she, sucked in the bread.
Well, I think she had to, there's a suction process, so it, redistributed the mass,
Indeed, it's all very scientific.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, okay, so now Isogai, I feel like, is a full-fledged character in 3E, rather than, just President Poverty. Okay, cool. And it was pretty wholesome. I like getting more focus with Asano as well. I feel like his character is...
ripe with potential.
It's the one that doesn't necessarily need to exist in this show.
True.
But I'm glad it does.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could just have it be the principal. You could just have it be, Koro Sensei and Shiro and the government and all that stuff.
Yep.
But no. Let's have a good old-fashioned school bully, ace student, super cocky and everything.
Yeah. He's basically the dark inversion of someone like Karma, even in design, but he's also, I would say, an inversion for what 3E represents to the school, because the teacher, or the principal, gives a lot of passes to Asano, given how many times he's failed. And given that he has high expectations for Asano, given that Asano is incredible in terms of all the effort that he puts into this.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually kind of amazing that the evil principal, like Aizen, like Overlord, hasn't sent him to Class 3E yet.
But he might eventually if he continues failing, which I never thought that would happen. Like with Itona, when Itona was introduced, it's like, okay, this boy needs to get into Class 3E.
This guy needs to get Nakama. Yep.
Right, this Nakama power needs to happen here.
Exactly.
Let's save this boy. It'll be great, right?
Yep, definitely.
With Asano,
it's up in the air.
It's up in the air.
It could go either way.
Yeah, I feel like that's, weirdly enough, the biggest, maybe, long-term, like plot, slow burn kind of a thing that they have here, other than Koro-sensei. But Koro-sensei also has a concrete timetable, so,
Right, that's true.
Whereas Asano, if they get to the point where, Koro-sensei would destroy the world, and he doesn't because, whatever happens or something, right? Asano can be the thing beyond that of, there is still someone that must be saved.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I really liked that this episode basically focused on how the class kind of gets to be utilized by the person that gets the focus. So whenever we see these characters that we've had a little bit of time to get to know of, like Terasaka, for instance, we get to see them being utilized in a way that makes sense for their character. So in the competitions, we saw that, but then we also got to see Itona, for instance, who's already just a new member of the class, being thrown in as the secret weapon at the very last second because of his insane dexterity and strength to topple the pole, like right at the very last bit when they're in that deadlocked standstill draw.
Awesome.
It's really good, yeah. And then at the end, we get the ultimate twist, which is that Asano's dad is not just terrifying, he backs up his words in extremely, psychopathic, violent ways.
Right.
Because this was something where the guy, the American guy, called out the principal right in front of his son with you should teach him how to learn from defeat. Basically saying, you suck at being a dad.
Right.
Get good.
And not saying it necessarily in that way.
Saying it in a pretty diplomatic way.
And the thing that he brought up,
was legit.
That's a good, legit point.
And what he then goes is to say,
how dare you, middle schooler.
Right. Well, basically, no, he says you think I haven't done that. Or
I don't know that lesson
Or I don't know that
myself.
lesson. Right. I will show you how I know this lesson.
Right.
Now, I think what we actually saw here was the chink in his armor, where him doing this was not necessary in order to communicate that he knew the lesson.
No.
Now, it helps in communicating that he knows it very well in this specific way, but it's
a true warrior needs not their fists.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
In this case here, he more revealed that he's petty, and also that he needs to win.
Yeah,
he must win.
Right. To quote the good boy Armin from Attack on Titan,
right?
By using the thing at which you're superior, aren't you acknowledging that you've already lost the original conversation? And you just can't admit that, so you're going to something where you will win,
right?
And so go for it. And even though there's no way that these exchange students are actually middle schoolers.
Right.
They are middle schoolers.
Yeah. And thus, you, a 30-plus-year-old man, beat up 4 middle schoolers.
Way to go. Way to go.
I hope your dead daddy is proud from beyond the grave.
Right.
Basically, if I was my, my lanky-ass 29-year-old self here, I know so many ways I could dismantle this petty adult. There's so much childlike, just immaturity just wrapped up in this scene to where you could just be like, let me just tear you off a new one.
Now, after that, he would probably obliterate you.
I would basically have to bank on the fact that I probably spent more time running than this guy did.
Shock him so much with the audacity of what you say.
And then I just get the out of there as fast as I can because, I would be broken in half by any kind of serious martial artist.
But I love that because in this show, yes, everything's extreme and over the top in the school and whatnot, and the principal is terrifying. And, there's that one bit where it's like, the person sees him as if it's like tentacles and stuff, and he makes him have a mental breakdown just by talking to him.
God, that was...
But it was always within, the constraints of semi-reality in that this is school stuff that they're competing with, right?
Yeah.
And yes, you've got the scary principal, right? Dialed up to 11.
Yes.
But it was
this
always
was dialed up to 13.
This was gone into a whole different area. This is okay, now I'm an action villain. Like it's not just
I
that
beat up and nearly kill my underlings.
Right. I beat the shit out of these middle schoolers just to prove a point, you know.
My son.
Right. Like, okay, you might as well just start Darth Vader choking them, you know, like all right.
It's so true though.
Like,
oh my god. Like what I love about this was because, okay, so what I expected was going to happen was something a bit more dramatic. Like, while they're all, like, outside, the window, like, shatters, and, like, the Americans, like, get thrown out of the window and stuff like that, and they're all bloodied mess, and he's, like, staring down, looking at them like this. But no. He does this all in the privacy of his office. And his son watches, and then he like menacingly like stalks over there, and he's like, "How will you learn from this lesson?"
That was freaky.
That was so freaking terrifying.
That was freaky.
Like, so for those of you who've seen Soul Eater, there's a being of madness in that story that has that kind of face basically at a part, and there's a scene where they basically just break the mind of one of the side villains, I think.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. And
it's
been a long time since I've seen Soul Eater.
That was what I felt like this was like, just kind of an image of, was just me like going back to that moment, and I'm like, that's
like there's a part of me I'm assuming that they're not implying this at all, right? That the principal is just extra and terrifying because why not, right?
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that's like, wait, hold on a second. If Koro Sensei is going to this school and this principal knows about a lot of this stuff, is the principal human?
That would be the ultimate twist.
There's this part of me where I'm not quite sure. I'm 98%, 96% sure that he is, right?
I feel like it kills a little bit of the tension
if he's not.
Right. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that there's a very low likelihood that he's not human.
Right, and same. I don't think it's a high likelihood at all. It's just one of those things where he keeps getting more extreme, right? Yeah. The kind of stuff that he can do, even when Asano started busting out the moves and like, you know, because like these kids are trained assassants by this point, right?
So Asano can also be trained, you know.
Yes, definitely. That is
terrifying.
Right. It doesn't break any of the sort of rules set up by the show in the world and stuff. That could definitely happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's more of the question of, wait, why? I guess why not?
Why not?
You know?
Yeah.
And then two,
that's
like right.
That's the anime answer.
Right. And then two, who trained him? Oh well, okay, I guess we know.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep. So good stuff there. And then when we basically look at the episode, I would say in the broader context, because this is a pretty closed narrative episodic thing, there's actually a little bit in the beginning here of the episode with the intro bit of them kind of, you know, watching, you know, the young Isogai kind of taking care of, you know, his situation and stuff, and having this, you know, private part-time job. Then we end up finding out that Koro Sensei is here, you know, the honey toast is amazing. And there's a little commentary thing. It's like, you don't seem to be too upset about his being such a man among men. And like, huh? Well, no. Like, why is that? Why? Well,
he's a good guy, that's all.
Yeah, he's just a good guy. Let me bring up this bit here, because look at the way Koro Sensei kind of responds to this. He's just a good guy. That's all. Do we need another reason?
Yeah.
Yeah. That little bit of just let's just hold on Koro Sensei. He doesn't say anything.
Right. Because
Koro Sensei is quick to snap back with like a little or any kind of commentary. But in this case, he kind of
and his facial expression changes.
Yeah. To a little smile.
It's something where because the main conflict of the story is rarely brought up in a direct way.
But it's very
clear
what
it is.
Yes.
Like, yes, the main conflict
we don't have
is...
to say anything about it.
Right, we don't have to say anything about it. There's not much new development. There's the impending sense of doom that Koro Sensei has said he will destroy the world. He already destroyed most of the moon, so we know that there at least was a point where he wanted to make good on that.
Yeah.
But
But
we know that this Koro Sensei, The good teacher we know. There is no way he would do that, right?
No way.
And why? Well, there's the bit of backstory, flashback stuff that we got in the first episode.
That he wants to be here.
But he wants to be here.
Because of someone else's influence.
Right. But now he has taken it on himself and made it his own. Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe that just goes to show that perhaps the end result of even this whole show will be that Koro-sensei will even teach the principal or perhaps save the school, or I don't know.
I think it's going to be more that the kids get to teach something to Koro-sensei.
Yes, well and that's what's been happening this whole time.
Well, right, but it'll be kind of an acknowledgement of that from him.
Yes.
Not that they'll necessarily do some big teaching thing. There will be probably something like that, but I think it'll be more of like, how much have you all taught me?
Right. It's those no big deal things that matter the most.
Yes.
These little comments.
All these little things where we've been keeping notes on Koro-sensei's weak point. Koro-sensei has been keeping notes on what good students you all are and how much you've taught him. So...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's little moments like this that are just like, we see that.
Yep.
We see that.
Because his weakness is his heart, and you have assassinated his heart.
His heart, yeah.
And he would, and like a good assassination, he may not have realized when it happened.
That's true.
He may not have noticed.
Oh.
But all of a sudden, he couldn't help it.
Yeah.
It happened. So,
I just love these little moments and stuff because I feel like they're meant to pile up over time.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where if I was a DM basically and I wanted to not do we're having a mystery session, but I wanted to basically put little breadcrumbs of the overall mystery and then eventually the players are just like, wait a minute, there's been a lot of things focusing on this thing here. And then it's like, good job. Well done. I feel like that's it with Koro-sensei, is that we don't talk as much about the fact that he's supposed to be destroying the world. And no one questions is he actually going to do that? Like,
and in a lot of ways, it's perfect because, these kids are young, right?
Yeah.
So
they're not necessarily perfectly aware of all this stuff going on.
Yep. So they're a lot more accepting of sort of what happens. So they don't necessarily, they don't ask, how's Koro-sensei, and all of that stuff.
Yeah, but everyone asks who is Koro-sensei, but no one asks how is Koro-sensei.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Oh.
This kind of stuff sprinkled in an episode that otherwise could potentially be seen as just a needlessly flashy, excessive, extra...
Episodic
bit of, the principal has crazy black belt stuff. He beat the shit out of his master.
Isogai is the good leader.
Taking a blow on day 3, and Isagai's the good leader.
Yes.
But then there's also this stuff.
Yeah, this stuff is really good.
Yeah.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Yes, so we stream Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Mondays we do podcasts. Tuesdays we do One Piece dramatic manga readings. Wednesdays and Fridays, Kale does gaming.
Yep, I'm playing Hades right now, but I am basically about to start Cyberpunk 2077.
Right, and then on Thursdays, I do gaming, which at the moment is Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.